In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. On Wednesday the 13th of October 1999, Giuseppe Bernardini, who was a 72-year-old Italian Archbishop of Izmir in Turkey, in a written address submitted to the Synod of European Bishops at the Vatican, bluntly accused Muslims of plotting to dominate Europe and de-Christianize the continent. He said that Muslims have a clear program of expansion and reconquest of Europe. He then called on the Pope to convene a special Vatican meeting to find a common strategy towards Muslims living in Christian countries. He died in Reggio Emilia on the 3rd of December last year, 2023, at the age of 95. He clashed openly with the Pope's and the Church's policy of promoting Christian-Muslim dialogue. Here is what he said: "I have been living for the past 42 years in Turkey, a country 99.9% Muslim, and I am the Archbishop of Izmir, Asia Minor, for the past 16 years. The theme of my intervention is therefore obvious: the problem of Islam in Europe today and in the future. My intervention is to make a humble request of the Holy Father, above all, to be brief and clear. First, I will mention 3 cases that, due to their provenance, I believe to be true. Case 1. During an official meeting on Islamic-Christian dialogue, the authoritative Muslim person speaking to the Christians participating at one point said very calmly and assuredly, "Thanks to your democratic laws, we will invade you. Thanks to our religious laws, we will dominate you." This is to be believed because the domination has already begun, with the petrodollars used not to create work in the poor North African or Middle Eastern countries, but to build mosques and cultural centres in Christian countries, with Islamic immigration, including Rome, which is the centre of Christianity. How can we ignore it all? This is a clear program of expansion and reconquest. In case 2, during another Islamic Christian meeting, always organised by Christians, a Christian participant publicly asked the Muslims present why they did not organise at least once a meeting of this kind. The Muslim authority present answered the following words: "Why should we? You have nothing to teach us. We have nothing to learn." A dialogue among deaf persons? This is a fact that terms such as dialogue, justice, reciprocity, or concepts such as rights of man, democracy, have a completely different meaning for the Muslim than for us. But I believe this to be recognised and admitted by all by now. In case 3, in a Catholic monastery in Jerusalem, there was, perhaps still is, a Muslim Arab servant, an honest and gentle person. He was respected greatly by the religious, who in turn were respected by him. One day he sadly told them, "Our chiefs have met and have decided that all the infidels must be killed. But do not fear, because I will kill you without making you suffer. We are all aware that we must distinguish between the fanatic and violent minority from the tranquil and honest majority. But this, at an order given in the name of Allah or the Quran, will always march compact and without hesitations. Anyway, history teaches us that the secure minorities always manage to impose themselves over the renouncing and silent majority. It would be naive to underestimate, or worse yet, smile on the three cases I have referred to. I feel that their dramatic teaching must be reflected upon. This is not pessimism on my part, despite the appearance. The Christian cannot be pessimistic because Christ is risen and alive. He is God, and opposed to all other prophets are those calling themselves such. The final victory will be Christ's, but God's times may be long and often are. He is patient and waits for the conversion of sinners. In the meantime, He invites the Church to organize herself and to work to quicken the coming of His kingdom. And now I would like to make a serious proposal to the Holy Father to organize as soon as possible, if not a synod, at least a symposium of bishops and operators in the pastoral ministry for immigrants, with particular reference to the Islamic ones, widening the scope to the Reformed and Orthodox churches. The symposium could be useful to deepen in a collegial way the problem of the Islamic people in Christian countries, and thus find a common strategy to face it and resolve it in a Christian and objective way. We must agree on the principles, even if their applications will vary depending on the places and the persons. Nothing is worse than disagreement on principles. I end this exhortation, suggested to me by experience. Do not allow the Muslims to ever use a Catholic church for their cult, because this would be, in their eyes, the certain proof of our apostasy. This warning was given back on the 13th of October 1999, and I believe that we are now witnessing the great apostasy the Archbishop spoke about. May his soul and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.